Hey, you guys. So I'm back again with another message from the Lord. This particular message, God had dropped in my spirit um, after He gave me a vision, dream, and I asked God, um, what was the dream about? And pretty much, God is saying that after you give birth to whatever you want to give birth in this season, make sure you take care of what you're giving birth to. Make sure that you're nurturing whatever you need to be nurturing. Make sure you are taking care of whatever it is that God is telling you to give birth to in this season, in this hour. I know I have released a video that God had told me that this is resurrection season. A lot of people are about to, even during this resurrection season, a lot of people are about to give birth to some things, and God is saying make sure whenever you give birth to it that you are nurturing it, that you are taking care of it, because a lot of people, they'll birth a vision, but then the vision still dies because people don't take the time to nurture or take care of or pour into and still work what God has gave them to work. Okay, so God is saying make sure that you are nurturing and taking care of the vision, because in the vision I saw someone with the baby and they were nursing the baby, and I was like, okay, God, what are you saying? And God was like, make sure you are nurturing and taking care of whatever I'm telling you to take care of in this season, in this hour. Make sure you're doing those things in this season, in this hour. Don't just give birth to something and just neglect it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Take care of what God is about to tell you, what God is about to cause you to give birth to in this season, in this hour. And y'all, the pleasure on this particular woman's face after she gave birth to um, the baby, after she gave birth to the assignment, she had so much pleasure and joy on her face while she was nurturing and taking care of the baby and taking care of the assignment. Even after you birth it, it's going to be such of amazing feeling, and you're going to have such an amazing feeling of taking care of and nurturing what God has told you to nurture and take care of in this season, in this hour. Some people feel like some assignments that God has given them are burdens. They feel like um, they just feel like it's a burden, or they don't really enjoy doing what God has called them to do. But this particular woman, she was very, very excited. She was very, very happy. She was excited, happy, joyful about this assignment that God had given her, about this baby that God had given her to birth, to nurture, to feed, so it can grow. All right. So God is saying, whatever you are about to birth in this season, in this hour, make sure you're nurturing it, make sure you're feeding it, make sure you're taking care of it. Okay, because it is going to be your baby. All right. It is going like, even though you give birth to something, you still got to push the vision, you still got to make sure that it's really growing properly and reaching its full potential. Just like a child, even when you birth a child, you're still not done with that child. Right after birth, you got to make sure it's being properly fed, clothed, make sure you're instilling the values, good values and morals and principles of God inside the child, so they can't teach them the way that they should go, so they won't stray away from it. Okay, it's similar to whatever God is going to give you in this season, in this hour, to birth. You're going to have to still make sure after you give birth to it, make sure you see it through, make sure it's completed, make sure you are being that parent to make sure that it's growing and getting to where it needs to be for the upbuilding of God's kingdom. Some of y'all might be actually giving full actual birth to babies in this season, in this hour. But I know when God tells me about birthing or shows me birthing in the spirit, it's because someone is about to birth something or has already birthed something that God has said that they were going to birth, whether it was an assignment, whether it was a business, whether it was anything. Okay, that God may have told you to write down your visions and put it on your vision board. Some of those things are about to come into fruition, are about to be birthed in this season, in this hour, and God does not want you to forget to take care of that thing. All right, when you, like I said, when we have children, we don't forget about our children, right? We are still there guiding, protecting, covering, praying over our children, being good parents to our children. You're gonna have to still do that whenever you really birth this assignments. Okay, so do not drop the ball. Like I said, you will have pleasure, it will not be a burden like some people feel like. the whatever God has given them is a burden. When you really truly embrace God, when you really truly embrace the assignment, and you work what He's told you to work in, and you really seek Him, that same thing that God is telling you to do can bring you peace. That same thing that God is telling you to do can bring you joy. That same thing that God is telling you to do can bring you fulfillment. That's why in whatever state we are in, we should be content, okay? So just wanted to come and share this message. After you give birth, make sure you are nurturing, taking care of, still pushing the assignment. Your job is still not done. That's only just the beginning after you give birth. All right, so I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day, and I will chat with you all later.